All right, welcome to episode 48 of Adventures in Inbetweening. Today I'm revisiting the buzz on Maggie. This is some animation I did back in 2006 for episode 117B, Bugs on the Brink.
Cheese and crackers! Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Oh, my bug! A real triple-spotted multi-pronged stag beetle! And here you are, on our rock!
Between that and being accident-prone, it is no wonder we're endangered.
Wally's wedding rehearsal dinner. What the?
Beverly, I know we've only known each other a short time, but like Ma said, we're endangered, so tick-tock.
All right, tons of fun stuff crammed in here. Quick story point. Raina is disguised as Beverly, a triple-spotted multi-pronged stag beetle, to fool the humans who are going to bulldoze Sticky Feet where Maggie and her friends and family live. Okay, so Raina here was going into a stagger, and this is all setting up the big smear coming up. Little anticipation frame, and we're going to have this massive, here comes the blink, overlapping the head down with the body coming up. And now she's going through the realization first. What? Uh-oh, there's something behind me. I better put my mask on. Here comes Wally, and the whole point is Raina is trying to fool the multi-pronged stag beetles so that they will stick around and save the town. Now here is where I had so much fun covering up 2/3 of the screen with this one-frame smear, and this works because it's the style of the show, and also because, well, the style of the show allows it, but the big thing is setting it up, setting it up, setting it up. You go through the smear, and then you overshoot, 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 and the camera is helping there too, and then boom, one frame down. So we've got a smear and then a pop, and this all works because of the anticipation, overshoot, settle, and the camera helping out. Now here again, we're going to do a quick 8-frame dolly out. Now this is another thing. I mean, the cameras on this were very zippy. It really helps the action. It's motivated by the action. And this allows the entrance of Wally here, coming in on his big bouncy run. Anticipations are really important in this. And again, we got to have Raina turn around here. She's got to go from this angle to this angle. This mask is complicated and difficult to draw at different angles. And we're doing 21 seconds a week of animation. So we just got to come up with the simplest, most appealing solution. You can see here that the way that the smear ended is exactly where the mask is on the next frame. So this helps sell the smear as well. It's not just this random thing thrown in out of nowhere. It's really nicely set up and followed through. That's the intention. Here we're looking at the clear silhouettes, keeping them separated the entire time. That really helps sell the characters and you know, plays up to the appealing designs. Shot 2 here now. Maggie is going to fly in. She's pretending she doesn't know Raina. She's saying, oh, look, it's a triple-spotted multi-pronged stag beetle. This is so exciting. And she's, you know, playing. Raina's not too happy about this. So Maggie's going to land here. And as she lands, her motion's going to change over to Raina. So we get this nice down and then up motion. Raina's going to pop out of her costume there with the glasses. The idea is that Wally's still off to screen left. And so, you know, the Raina kind of has to hide that she's in a mask here, in a suit. Lip sync here does the heavy lifting a lot of the time. Eye contact, really important. On these characters with the huge eyes, we really needed to say, yeah, we need that eye right on the screen right of Raina there and screen left of Maggie so that we get that clear eye contact. And a lot of overshoots and settles to cover up the pops and pose changes. Raina is now looking back to screen left at Wally here. And just looking at stuff like, you know, a lot of times you have a character stop, we can have a little bit of secondary motion on the antenna there. Again, there was a lot of time put into the creating the mouth shapes for the characters, and as well as the hands. We had over 100 hands, I think, to work with on Maggie. And so the mouths have a lot of appeal, and they need to because we see them so often. You know, there's 15, 20 mouths repeating over and over and over with the dialogue. Anticipating forward, and then as she goes back, the arms are going to stretch out in contrast. Gives us lots of overlap. And again, this is, I'll say it many times, whenever you have strong posing, you need less animation. That's what sells. It's that people don't mind looking at a strong pose for longer, even if it's not moving as much. Now, Wally's mouth shapes here. Now, he was a one-off character for this episode. So we were able to kind of, you know, push his mouths, and you can see there's the connection point right up almost near the proboscis there. And the mouths, to make it really sell, we couldn't have the mouth go underneath the collar. I remember we had a discussion about that. And it was like, no, the mouth has to go on top. So we always had to keep a line there to connect the mouth to the rest of the head. And sometimes the mouth would go in front of the arm, but behind the hand. And that would help, just give us this sense of depth. Here, Wally's anticipating back and blinking, boom. We can do a lot when you have a lot of change on one frame, a lot of shape change. When you have an anticipation selling it, and then you can come forward quickly, overshoot and settle. Yeah, Wally was fun to work with all that crazy lip sync. Now here on shot 5, you see we've got these two spaces here. We're setting up animation to happen in these two places. Now I love this here. When you've got a glass, you just have one angle, a second one. We're not going to try and animate slowly between those two angles. It's all just about setting up a fast action. And when Maggie's drinking, it's like, well, I don't have time to draw water going down, so it's just going to be whoop, 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 really broad action. Now she's responding here. We can squash and stretch the eyes because they're so big. We need some shape change there. Now they're going to anticipate in opposite directions here as they're reacting to this idea that Raina's going to get married. Raina's mask is going to pop off. Maggie's going to spew her water all over the table. And this is all happening at the same time. So it gives us, this sense of, oh, which one do we look at? But they're both playing off of each other. And they both have very different textures. One is a rotational shape, and the other is more of an organic 2D effect shape. Head's continuing to spin. I think it spins 3 or 4 times. Smear Maggie's hand down there. Keep up the energy. Have that water dripping out of her mouth. She's just flabbergasted. What? Raina's going to get married? Now we see this beat of Raina getting mad, like, you said this wasn't going to happen. And then the mask is going to come down and cover up her face. And as soon as the impact hits, that triggers our 8-frame camera pullout here. And that's also going to reveal Wally and his mother as they're sitting at the table with all the multi-pronged stag beetles. Wally slides in, crowding Raina. Now we have silhouettes overlapping there intentionally. Here, sometimes you can just smear the eye directions, and you see all the stuff on the table flying around there that Wally created the chaos. And here, I love this because you'd have to go back, but Raina's eye direction on the mask was changing because I wanted to get a connection between her and Maggie. Even though it's a mask and we can't change the eye direction because it's supposed to be in one place, on that scene, I wanted to push for that, and it worked. And I think that, nobody really questioned it. Back to Wally here on shot 6. Lots of lip sync, overshooting and settling the eye, squash and stretch again. You saw the smear earlier there. It's the style of the show. It allowed us to get between two very different drawings without a lot of complex in-betweens by saying, I'm going to smear from here to there. Smearing the eyes here instead of blinking just to change it up. It's about the aesthetic, but it's also about efficiency. If you look at the Dover Boys back in the 1950s, that's kind of where a big touchstone for it. Okay, this smear, I love these smears. Here, we've got Raina coming forward. She's anticipating. Boom, here's the big rainbow smear. Setting it up with all the anticipation, and you can see the edges there that we're starting with and following, ending on. That's all selling that smear. It's not just this smear out of nowhere. It's actually connected to the shapes we see on the screen. Now, Raina's line of action, back, 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 back. Settling in there, and boom, the second rainbow smear. Pushing it, getting all the colors, just eyedroppering the colors from the mask, trying a bunch of different things, and having, again, that arrival point and the takeoff point is what's selling it, is what matters. That's what's connecting. You see the mask there, the way that it's the edges, the silhouettes are on the screen left there, and on screen right as well. Boom, squash on Maggie there. Her entire body squashes down. Raina's settling up. Maggie's settling up. Now Raina's going to drop down first. We can pop her down quickly. Overshoot and settle at the bottom. And that's what sells it. And clear composition to end. Again, we had really strong boards on this, which gave us a lot of these terrific compositions to work with. And that's just 30 seconds on episode 117B of Buzz on Maggie. I hope you liked it. I really enjoyed working on the show. It was a great crew and great memories. I'll see you next time. Thanks.